Well, hello and welcome to the wrap. This is a show rounding up all things Zwift from the last week. We're talking racing, we're talking events, we're talking fashion. We're live on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. It's also a podcast you can download. Find it over at zwiftcommunitylive.com/podcast or download it anywhere that you do download your podcasts by just searching the wrap, and Zwift should come up real quickly. Today is Thursday, December 21st, 2023. We are on episode number 75, and I am Nathan Guerra. Anna Russell is sat next to me virtually coming out of New Zealand, and I'm in the US of A. Currently, today on the wrap, what are we talking about? We're going to be talking about the final race of the Zwift Racing League, the ZRL Round 2 Wrap Up, because we are only looking forward to round number 3 still in the new year. We'll be talking about the podcast ride. We had a festive fun ride that was pretty, we call it festive fun, festive ride. Ugly sweater ride is what I'm liking to call it. That's what the main focus was today for that. We also are going to be talking about the Tour de Zwift that just got launched and what we think of its vibe which is going to be interesting. There's been some stealth updates in the background that'll be pretty interesting to look at, as well as some updates that have been straightforward in the launch notes with update 1.55, race timing display versus with gun time, the time of the gun goes off that it says start versus when people are crossing a line with the chip. So chip timing versus gun start timing, or I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but anyways, that'll be covered as well. We do have a whole lot of fashion to cover because we're gonna be going over the ugly sweaters today, and then we also have a submission from a community member as well that we really appreciate with the map kit. So we'll be talking about that just a little bit. But as always, we like to talk about what we've been up to for the last week in relation to the world of Zwift and our training. Anna, how has it been going for you?
It's okay. The start of the week was a little bit rough, I've got to say. I went for this long gravel ride on Sunday, and I was just riding, and I was like, I don't feel great. But I don't know if I'm like just, like it was quite hot. I was like, maybe I'm a bit tired. And then just like progressively the day just got worse and worse. And then I woke up the next day like with a virus. So I was like, oh God, I'm sick. But I just took 2 days off the bike and was like super easy and went to bed each night at like 7:00 when my kids go to bed. And so I was having 12-hour sleep. So I think I got over it relatively quick, still just like really tired though, which is like a little bit annoying. But did the TTT because our team, like we had to win. And I was like, this is going to be rough. This is going to be real rough. And it was like, we won it by 45 seconds or something, or 20 seconds maybe. And so we've won. We won it. We won round 2. So I'm stoked. But like, oh my God, Nathan, I was like riding along and I said to Jen, who's DSing, I was like, I'll make it to halfway and then I'll pull pin. She's like, that's all good. That's all good. I was like, but we got to halfway and we're only like maybe 7 seconds up. I was like, I can't leave them because that's not good. We'll only have 4 riders. I was like, and then it was honestly like kilometer by kilometer. And it was a long course, right? So at halfway, we still had like 18K to go. And I'm like, 17K, 16K, 15K. So like I just making it each kilometer. And then anytime there was a little kick, so there was that kick in the volcano, and there was a kick out of like the tunnel, any kick, I was like off the back dangling. But as long as I was straight in drafting, I was like, okay. But any kick in there, I was just like demoed. But feeling okay, got on, and I've been doing some workouts now, but doing them at like 85, 90% just to kind of do them like somewhat with pressure on the pedals, but not crushing myself. So I think I'm almost at the end of it, which is good because it's the first week of the holidays next week where my husband's home. So I'll have a bit of time to actually get in and do some rides. So nice. Good. What about you, Nathan?
Nice. Too bad to hear about the virus, but maybe just time to take it easy. Way to stick it out. I've been there before. Ditching it. It's like when you said that, I was picturing Samwise carrying Frodo. Like, okay, we're all suffering here, and I'm done, but I'm gonna carry this.
Yeah, I gotta keep going. We gotta do this.
Maybe everyone else was carrying you up Mount
No, they were.
Yeah. That's what's actually going on there. What have I been up to? There's been so much going on in the last week that I don't even actually know where to start. But from a training point of view, like I've started lifting a little bit and just need to be really careful with the back. And so like, I feel like we like took a lot of steps forward and then we took like maybe almost too many steps back, it kind of felt like. But then I went to the chiro and they were like, no, I think you're just still getting over the injury, Nathan. It's okay. Like you haven't thrown it out or anything. It's just going to be like this for a little bit where like you do any kind of exercises that are specific to that area. You might have a little bit of nerve pain and whatever little adjustments immediately just get rid of it. So it's like, yeah, so I've had to be really aware, and like the amount of time I've spent pedaling has to be really like separated kind of a little bit. So I just have to be careful about how much, because I like really want to like get these longer rides in and stuff, but it's been like I have to temper myself, and I also really have to temper myself in sprints, which is not something I'm used to. And just that one is a little bit frustrating for me because I just really always had a like that's something I was proud of was my sprint, and now it's like, oh, one of my secret weapons is just like, or maybe not so secret weapons is just like so gone right now. Dang it. But anyways, so that's been going on. Things have been crazy here. Like the reality of my life in Zwift right now has been pretty much from ERL until this moment working on tech. Like I took little breaks to ride my bike and spend time with the family. But besides that, it's literally either been on the phone, building new equipment, or like trying to test things. Like it's just been, and it wouldn't look like that because we haven't produced any content, but there's been some sort of crazy ISP issue going on here that I've been having to manage. And if anybody knows what that's like, like, you know, it's hurdle after hurdle after hurdle of convincing the other party that it may not be your problem. It's like being in like an abusive relationship, essentially, of like, I don't know if I'm actually the problem here. Like, just so you know, I really am trying to be as nice as I can, and I want to stay in this relationship, but you know, I think I might not be the issue right now. And it's like you'd have that conversation with like 7 to 10 different people across the company, depending on what position that they are. You know what I mean? It's either like super low end customer service all the way to like a systems tech. And like, you're talking to every level, and it's like, anyway, so that's the background at ZCL.
I can only imagine, because I'm not a very stressed out person, but the only time in the last like 5 years I've been truly stressed out is when I had to do a broadcast for Zwift. And I got home and the internet wasn't on. And I was like, what is going on? And it turned out the router they provided was faulty, but it was 4:00 in the afternoon. So all the shops are shutting. And I'm like ringing my husband like, yeah, you need to go to the shop. You need to get this specific one from this place. But then setting up a router in 20 minutes was like, I've never sweated so much in my life. You know, you're just like, I'm on a time limit. This is not enjoyable at any point. And then it all worked. I was like, I never want to have to deal with that.
I want to hear. So this is a good topic, because I think this is a common experience within the Zwift world of like, what were your last minute fixes when it comes to specifically with internet or connection issues, and you made it or you didn't make it? So this week I had one of those where I got back, I had went and gotten a new router from a local store that they had here to prove that it wasn't my equipment. Cause like the first tech that came in eventually just like did all these tests and said, oh yeah, everything's fine. I was like, everything's not fine, because I'd done some certain other tests. And I'm like, whatever, okay, fine. I'll get my stuff out of the way. So I went and got a new modem from them and their own router, got my router out of the way, put it all in, and it was 8:35 p.m. We take off at 8:45 p.m. for our TTT on Tuesday night for ZRL. Oh, no. Somehow I get everything plugged in, Then there's like this weird bug that I'm like sleuthing out a little bit with Zwift with Direct Connect with my specific setup. So then like everything's on and ready to go, but it doesn't pick up. So I have to do this like power cycle thing. And then suddenly the Direct Connect shows up and I'm like, it literally says like 12 seconds to go, push in. And I get in and it's not loading. I literally get in and see my team 7 seconds away. Oh. I sprint as hard as I can, but they're like, you know, they're not waiting 7 seconds and they're flying, you know, 50K an hour. I was so like disheartened. And at the same time, I was like, you know, my back is kind of hurting today. It's probably a good thing. Like I was like, it's probably
that's a good way to look at it. Like, because I've had probably 5 or 6 teammates crying in a pen because something has happened in the start pen. So we're like, and it always seems to be TTT, and then we're all waiting, and then someone's like, oh my gosh, my power's just stopped. And then you spend the minute leading up to the thing just trying to calm them down while they're trying to troubleshoot with like high stress. And then you feel so bad, like you, right, when you just have to go and you're like, well, see you later.
Sorry. Yeah.
Enjoy your
ride. Like that 7 seconds is not coming back. You know what I mean? Like you wait up at the start, especially like it's over. So yeah, so that definitely was a thing. So I just been doing some of our top secret, not so top secret XP grinding. Actually, a shout out to Niall from Backpedal because he saw that I was still doing the climb portal, the short one. Like, so there was one that you could finish in 8 minutes and get 10 bonus XPs and a chance at a 250, right? And I don't know if I saw a single 250 on any of those climbs. They might have nerfed that. I'm not sure. They may have. I'm not positive. Maybe I did, but I wasn't paying a lot of attention because I also got legendary in Hearthstone, if that means anything to anybody, while I was doing that. So I was riding there and I get this message on my Strava from Niall. He's like, hey, just so you know, Nathan, there's double XP in every single rewind event. And there's a rewind event on every hour. I was like, oh, I did the math and I was like, wait, that's way more than what I'm getting right now, especially if I'm with a pack. Like, that's so I literally did a level. I did like a whole level in 2 rides, or maybe like 2.5 rides.
Wow.
Like something crazy
wait,
that.
Tell us. Level.
I think
What
I'm
are you on now?
74. I think I'm 74. Gabby went crazy tonight and hit 76 tonight. Like, I was like, wait, you caught up to 70? You're 70 already?
No.
Oh.
I'm 60.
Oh, okay. I was like, whoa, how did you hit 70?
So this is the story of my life, is I finally get to that level and now we've got all these new ones open. Like, they only opened last week,
okay,
right?
Here's a hot topic from the community. Are we leveling too fast now? Like, this is everywhere.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. Like, we jumped into a meeting last week and like there was like some ho-hum about like, oh yeah, people complaining about, oh, they're leveling too fast. I was like, guys, I think, and I just got out of a TTT, I think it was last Thursday or something. I was in a race, some sort of Discord, and someone was like, yeah, our levels don't mean anything anymore. Like, I earned all of this. No, it was my Twitch channel. And they were like, I've earned this. And like, now they just took everything I earned and made it kind of not worth a whole lot. And all these people, and like, it's reminiscent of when they made leveling on WoW easier, and all of us old schoolers who did the hardcore grind saw that they were losing subscribers and they wanted new people to come in. And so they made it easier to get up to where we were, because like those people needed motivation and to be in endgame content quicker, because it was like, but I don't think that applies to Zwift. I think people who are new to Zwift, it's just all new. You know what I mean? And so it's not. Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
I definitely have opinions here. I haven't thought about it apart from when you've just said it now, but I definitely have opinions. So one, I think, and I am not coming at this from jealousy, but the fact you have done 15 levels, 15 levels in what, a week, 10 days? That's too fast, in my opinion.
Well, we're going to out-level to 100 pretty quick.
Yeah. And then so for me, I don't chase leveling up. Like, I just do my training on Zwift and then I get a woohoo moment when I get a new level, right? But I don't go and find it. The only time I probably do is on the Tour of Watopia when the double XP rides, and I'm like, oh, I'll do more of those. But I think that it would be so easy. Like, I distinctly remember when I first started Zwift, getting to like level 10 was really quick. And then it started to slow down. I like that. Like, just for the first enticement of a new Zwifter, get them to level 10 fast. And then by the time they're at level 10, they're probably hooked and addicted like I was. And then just slow it down a little bit, you know? But I do, I mean, yeah, each to their own. I'm not chasing 100 though. I don't mind if this takes me like a few years, because I just want to like bask
no way it's going to take you a few years. No way.
Well, like, I'm wearing my like level 60.
We're 75 already. Like, think about that.
But I just ticked 6. I think it would take me like 2 years.
What? No way. Really? Really?
I reckon. Yeah.
Maybe,
because a lot of my like long rides I do now.
Is my XP just like grinding then? I'm really doing that cheating, but I'm doing like the super hacks, I guess.
You're doing the grind. Because if I look, my long 4-hour ride is on gravel, so I'm not getting XP. I only do, outside of that, maybe 3 to 4 1-hour workouts.
Oh, and I'm doing 12 to 15 hours and you're doing 4 hours. So
I'm probably like doing
a quarter.
I only do
like a quarter.
Yeah. So I do 4 hours on Zwift, maybe 5, and then my long rides are outdoor.
Interesting.
So
And you don't have back end XP saved up too.
exactly.
So you're not getting
I'm
double.
like a regular. I think I'm a regular Zwifter, like a normal Zwifter.
You're a normal Zwifter. Oh my god! So normal Zwifters have a podcast every week, and racing the Grand Prix.
I'm just regular.
Just a regular. I'm your usual.
Just regular. And then when we get to winter, I even drop one Zwift ride to do Indy Velo race because I like mixing it up a little bit. So then I'll only be on Zwift like 3 hours a week, so it's actually not that much.
Yeah. You better.
So I'll tell you, I'm on.
You got to get those streaks going.
So I hit level 60 today. So keep a tab on that. We'll see how long it takes me to get to level 61.
This is like Simon Tron stuff going on here. Are you even Zwifting, bro? Like.
But I like the slow level up. I like enjoying the process. It's not about the result for me, Nathan. It's not about that level 100.
Not like Gabby and I. And I'm like looking over. What level are you now? Oh, I better get. Okay, I'm only 1 behind. Now I'm 2 behind. Oh my! Am I gonna ride tonight? Now still, it's 11 o'clock.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah.
Teppi,
if my husband was into this, yeah.
Teppi is already level 85, I believe, and he will be 100 in chat. Karsten thinks by New Year. I think he'll be 100 by Christmas. I think he will be 100 by the 25th. Like he is, we're doing, and he's got this. Check this out, everybody. This event, I don't know if he wants me to say this out like to the whole world, but like the link's in the Discord and it's like a TT mania. So all time trial bikes, draft is on Crit City. Let's ramp it up for the experience.
Oh my god, he's level 91.
It's over. It's over. Like it's already over. He's 91. Like
oh my gosh.
Jeez.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, well, I'll wear my level 60 jersey with pride. I did see, we'll talk about the fashion from the podcast ride later, but I did see a couple of the Alpe de Zwift jerseys in game. I think Pookie was one, and I think Gabby was the other.
Looked really good.
They stood out. They looked great. They looked really good. So actually that's the one that I will wear for a while. I know I said the Makuri Flowers was like my number one kit, and I think still I need to see someone in it so I know. But just in game, that Alpe de Zwift kit looked fly.
Looked really, I really like that one a lot. Actually, that was the first one I was impressed by as I saw it getting unlocked. I was like, oh, I want that. So yeah, well, speaking of podcast ride, that's the first thing actually on our agenda outside of what we've been up to and the bunny trails we just went down. So podcast ride, what I was not expecting 340 some people to be showing up to our ride. Like community.
Oh my god!
What?
I know.
You guys are awesome. All of you guys and gals are absolutely amazing. Like it was crazy. But look, we gotta herd the cats here though. Like, come on. Like, and I'm sorry, everybody. I was dealing with a lot of connectivity. I was literally on the phone with my ISP until 10 seconds to go. So that's why I wasn't chatting in chat. God. And I was just assuming Anna was going to take care of it. And then I should have been way more like, grandfather, dad, Nathan coming in and be like, let's go, guys. I got the stick out here because you need to herd these cats in because and I'm like 4 watts per kilogram.
Oh my gosh,
like,
okay.
Whatever. I'm hanging out at 1.
So I was so 1, it was in the description, 2 to 3 watts a kg. And I came into the chat right at the start. I'm like, this is like every group ride leader's issue, right? I'm like, we will start at 2.5. At 10 kilometers to go, it's all out. And then maybe 20 people went off at 5 watts a kg. I was like, okay, see ya. But and you'll see from our picks and the jerseys is that if you were ahead of me, so I was the yellow beacon at 2.5 watts pretty much the whole time. If you were not around me or behind me, you will not feature in our jersey picks. So because I'm not clicking up. So that's your risk. If you're not in the group, you don't get
You're
your
not in
your
the
terrible
party.
sweater.
If you're not in the group, you're not
in
part of the party. You got to be on the dance floor to get featured. And you were off in some competition you made up in your own head. It wasn't even a part of the party. Like you probably weren't even wearing an ugly sweater. Who are you? What's going on here?
But like, again, I'll shout out kudos to the good group ride organizers, because I think it's easy when you have a group ride every week and you like get a bit of a following. But when you have one like ours, which is once a year, and like the night before I checked in and I was like, okay, cool, 60 people, that's manageable. And then I wake up in the morning, I'm making my coffee. I was like, oh, I'll just double check that what we've got. And yeah, I saw too, I was like, 330. Oh shit, I can't manage that.
It was definitely crazy. It was definitely crazy. So I hung out off the back and just kind of did the like, I'm not just going to ditch these people back here thing, you know what I mean, for a while, you know, because there's like people who are doing like 1.5 to 2 watts per kilogram. It's like, I'll just hang out here for a while. But then once we got like halfway through the coast, I was like, if I want to be involved in any way toward the end of this ride, I need a bridge. So then Temps jumped on my wheel and I was like, and I can get my workout for the day. So I just like did a threshold effort for like a solid 5 minutes or 10 minutes to get up to you guys. It was great, actually. I felt really good and was like, all right, let's go. And that was cool. And then I'd already taken some pictures though at that point for some of the ugly sweater competition. And I definitely there was a wide array of what was understood as an ugly sweater. And I gotta admit, when I saw your kit post on Instagram, I was like, Anna, you look way too cool. Like I was like, this is like all kind of uniformed. Like I don't know if we're reading the assignment the same way about like this is like what an ugly sweater situation, but this is what ugly sweater parties end up being in some ways. You got people who go like fully mismatched, nothing makes sense, and then you get this like in between vibe of like it looks old school but everything does still match and it looks cool, and then you get stuff that's just creepy. like we had the full array. We had the full array at this one.
So I'll give my like thought processes. My son was down there, so he was helping me choose. So, but I wanted to go. It all had to center around the brown Digicamo kit because I just hands down think it's the worst kit. And there were probably five brown Digicamo kits there in the ride today. So it's pretty bad. Probably up there with the cow and the leopard print as well. So I had the Digicamo. And then I was like, the flat hat is brown, so it matches, and the brown leather shoes match, but they're both also terrible. So I was like, I actually am going to kind of like piece this together as a little bit of a color coordination, but everything is just gross. So it was almost similar to the pumpkin spice Fondo kit, is that I was going to wear that as well, but then I was like, I don't know, because it's all orange, and I wore it with an orange Tron when I was trialing it, and I was like, this also is all matching, but it's just gross. Like you look at it and just go, ugh. And I even like did a ride last night in the kit, and I was like, I actually can't do this. Like it is
seriously
traumatically gross. Like I'm just looking at my avatar being
Did
like,
you give me a picture of that one? I don't think you gave me a picture of yours.
Oh, I put it on socials. I'll send you. I'll send you my one
if you can. That'd be great because we're talking all about it. I don't have that one here actually. So I see you. Actually, I do see you though in the background. You're back there in the background.
Oh yeah, that's me.
That's you.
Yeah. With like. So, and it's got the cat socks, the cat socks that are just weird. And then just like grossest bike I could find with like orange detailing. And then the gloves are like these kind of holy weird gloves. And then those like, so, and see how it's like, it is kind of retro cool, but then I've got like really modern glasses on. So it kind of just throws it off and looks weird and creepy.
Oh my God. This is hilarious, actually. I can't actually zoom in on this for some reason. Oh, it's because it's a photo thing. That's why. So,
but then the problem, that's actually all those kits are pretty bad. And then the Christmas trees in the back just looks amazing.
Is that McCarthy? That's McCarthy behind there.
Yeah, that's McCarthy. Yeah.
And he did like this total creeper vibe. Like seriously, like Let's see if I can find that one. I think I took a picture of that one. I don't know if I included it actually.
I've
But
got notes of who everyone is because I gave
there, right
everyone.
there.
I had
That's the McCarthy one.
yeah,
And he's got this like mustache going on, the short fire. Are those fire socks, but short somehow or something?
short fire socks.
And then
Yeah,
he's got this. Look at those gloves. Like it's so bad. And then the old Cannondale with like old Zwift sprocket wheels, not even disc rim brake, like in the Digi brown camo yuck. Like, I mean, this is pretty well done with a red and white helmet. I mean, this is what I'm talking about when it's like just straight. This person doesn't think at all about what they put on and goes into like their weird uncle's closet and then also some other place in the house and then has a bad mustache and doesn't shave. Like that is McCarthy did a great job of being the weirdo that nobody knows that showed up and kind of wants to stay away from. And you're like watching your back if you leave the party late. Like McCarthy, and the funny thing is I definitely was watching my back with him because we sprinted to the line together today. So he also played that role. Nicely done.
You could almost see him with the haunted houses on the new road. You could almost see him just emerging out of one of those haunted houses with this kid on and being like, hey guys, I'm going to join the ride. And you're like, oh God, who's this dude? Yeah, he's the haunted house rider. I like that. I found it a little bit stressful going through everyone's kits because for some of them I was like, not sure if they had gone bad fashion or that's just what they regularly ride in. So I was like, I need to make sure everybody is like legit. You could tell though if it was like a real funny glove sock shoe combination was usually my tell. But there was one I was about to pick and then I was like, wait a sec, I actually am like not 100% and that would be so bad. But I think so. We had a few looks. So these are the top riders that we pulled out from the ride. There was Pookie in his Alpine kit. McCarthy.
Yeah, that Pookie one is really good. I really like that one. I think I have another one of him somewhere here, and that one was one of the best by far. Like, and well, here's the thing: he went though. He looks a little too cool almost. You know what I mean?
So that's the only issue. Yeah, is that he's. Do you know what he's done? Is he's chucked on every bloody unlock. He's got the turtle socks, which are my favorite new unlock for the socks category. He's got the pop art shoes. He's got the Alpine Zwift Tour de Alpe de Zwift jersey. He's just gone. So I'm going to mark him down because he's got too much. He's flexing too much with all his new stuff. It's making me annoyed. Level 91er.
Yeah. Well, really good though. Really good. I mean, it looks cool. It definitely looks cool.
Okay, we're going through McCarthy.
So here's Gabby and I. This is Gabby and I. So Gabby's set up though with the grandma kit. I don't know. Like she's got this like how would you name this? Because it's definitely
I get
patterned.
the gray hair gives her a grandma vibe, and everything's mismatched, which is awesome. She's going to get points down because she's matched the disc wheel to the bike color. So grandma ain't rocking a DT Swiss color match to an S-Works. She went full speed. She wasn't about to give up a sprint for fashion. So that marks her down. Sorry, Gabby.
Yeah, it definitely it comes in with this pattern, like it's got good pattern to it. And so it looks off, but at the same time, it definitely has like an early 80s vibe to it though too, which actually makes it look a little too cool almost. Like it all fits a little too well for it, but well done. And definitely, you know, the funny thing is if you look at these packs too, I absolutely love this concept.
How bad everyone looks.
Yes, because no one matches. It's so cool actually, because everyone is so like mismatched. So it's just kind of like this full on extremely eclectic vibe to the whole ride actually.
I gotta call out this one. This is Nat, and she's on Riot, and she's gone the full tri look. So she is a triathlete, but she's gone. What I love is she hasn't actually gone no socks. She's just gone the lowest socks you could possibly pick. So like anklet socks. She's got that weird kind of neon kit, but it is with like a yellow Tron. Now this is where people got more marks as if they paired it with also a really gross bike. So a few less marks there, but I do like the Aero helmet. So I think she did pretty well there as well. I do keep clicking through because I do have my winner, but I need to see them. So that was Gabby. It was McCarthy.
This guy with the Bridgestone.
I didn't take this picture.
Yeah, this is RG. It was Ireland. It was something G. This guy, I wanted to pick him out just because it was like Walmart bike mixed with this like totally mixed matched kit and socks and shoes. I don't know. Like there was something about the Bridgestone with this.
I've never seen that.
With this kit that just made it feel just so out of place together. Like if this guy showed up on a ride, you feel like you're on a disco journey with him, yet at the same time you can't trust him that well because of the bike that he's riding. I don't know. Like I really like this one. So
yeah, I like that. Yeah, that looks good.
It's a good one.
Well, like good and bad, but it's my favorite kit. He is still wearing
So the winner, who's your winner? Right here? Is this it? No?
Yes. Yes. Wait. There's two here. Okay, go back to the other one. So the guy by the Christmas tree is Fondo Kit. I think this is Goldenberg. Now, this is a top contender because there are a lot of people wearing the Fondo kits, which obviously it's not like a fan fave. It's kind of a gross kit and he's paired it with like a gazillion different things, plus the Focus like radical paint job bike with the disc wheels that don't match it. So it's like the Focus has got like pastels and the disc wheels are neon colors. So it just all looks like a real
And then he's got those glasses
mismatch.
and that hat with the gloves. Like total mismatch. Yeah.
So I'd go like, this is going to be second place. This is Goldenberg and the Fondo kit. But if we go to the next one, I've got this as the winner.
This one?
So Digicamo with a weird kind of purple Zwift bike with a pink visor, with the goggles, with the KOM gloves. He must be a podcast listener because he's wearing everything that I have mentioned I hate. Like, I hate the KOM gloves. I hate the pink visor. I hate the goggles. I hate the Digi brown kit. Right. I hate those socks. I know. So when I saw him, I was like, oh my God.
Actually, they went right. They aimed. Obviously, they listened to you too, Anna. Like, obviously.
Actually, they PM'd me on Instagram, so I know who it is. And he's a listener, obviously. It's Chris Wallner.
Wallner.
So
okay,
he
yeah.
Me today.
He pinged me today as well and said he made all right, well, Wallner, that's our winner. You get once a year, you get the trophy. For next year, we're gonna have to make him. Maybe we make him a ride leader next year. We'll just make him.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the
oh, no.
And then he gets to be a judge. He gets to be a judge next year. You can't win again, but you get to be a judge for next year. So next year's Festive Ugly Sweater kit. Congratulations, Wallner. If you can make it, well, otherwise you're gonna have your own stand-in. But that's absolutely awesome. That's so cool that he paid attention. Now we're gonna have people listening and marking what we don't like throughout the year and like what we rate poorly.
Like, those ones. Oh my God. So
right, well,
it was so fun though. I'm glad we got that going.
Real quickly, I just want to also, since we are on fashion, I want to highlight, and we're loving your submissions, everybody. Definitely. And we don't want to skip over them. We do so much fashion on here and keep them coming on the website. You can head over to ZwiftCommunityLive.com to submit your fashion. Here's a nice fashion pick, actually, though, completed by Lucas Halen on the other side of things. And he gave us a full rundown of why he liked it and exactly what it is. Like, laid it all out. Way awesome down. Map kit, always good. Also in real life, Esports helmet, Esports shoes, Zwift Academy 2022 socks with the white there, floral yellow gloves, and then and that yellow matches with just a little accent, doesn't it? It does.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Swimmer Curry glasses,
and I think,
matching Tron. Duh.
Isn't it? Yeah, of course, the matching Tron and the two-tone Tron it looks like as well. So uber points for that. And isn't it amazing looking at the last picture, which was so bad, the fashion, and then you look at a nice fashion pic and you're like, oh, this makes me feel like calm again. It's so nice. But yeah, great job from Lucas.
Flowers in a room are worth something. They have a value.
Yeah. Oh my God. Absolutely. Good job, Lucas. I'm loving all this combination. People send in these because I like this fashion in the fields where you've comboed it up with different choices from your garage.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, that's one part of our show. We do have an NPC story that was submitted. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And but if you want to also submit your NPC stories, there's these characters that there's a lot of stories about that you can tell out in game. Go ahead and make them up. We love to hear about them. A lot of times it's a comedy show. And if you are comedic, we love to hear what you think up about the avatars in game. So next up, all right, ZRL race 2023 wrap up for well, it's the end of all the races of 2023. There's no more ZRL this year. There'll only be more ZRL next year. So final race of ZRL, TTT. That was a long one. That was a super long one.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking, do you want to give because we both raced it, do you want to give like a vibe for round 2? So if I look at round 2, we reconned it a while ago. Just in case you can't remember, because it does feel like a very long time ago, we started with the scratch race around London Loop Reverse. We then headed into Scotland. We won't go into heaps of detail, but just like a vibe. But like second was the crit circuit. Third was TTT Watopia's Waistband. Fourth was Suki's Playground. Fifth was Muckle Yin. Sixth was triple flat loops, which we just had. Now, if I give a vibe, I really, really enjoyed it. I think the Muckle Yin, I'd have been desperate to race that for ages, and I loved it, and you could lay down some great tactics. London Loop Reverse, it was like the first race I had back in ages, and with like the Box Hill, I just felt that kind of added like some great dynamics. I didn't do the crit circuit, so I can't speak to that. I heard it was pretty brutal. The 2 TTT courses I really enjoyed as well. I think they're really good TTT courses. The only one I didn't like was Suki's Playground, because the climb was too short to break the field, and then there was too much descent and flat afterwards, that there wasn't a lot of motivation to break the field because people just caught up. You compare that to the Muckle Yin, where you could break the field on, even though it was only a 4-minute climb, it's steep, and you can get away. I just found Suki's Playground, it just kind of fell flat a little bit for me. Like it just wasn't, you couldn't really employ too many tactics, because it was like that one climb, a little bit of climb, and then a ton of flat. So that was probably the only one that I was a little bit disappointed with. Everything else I think was good.
Yeah, I'm going to say that the only thing I would take away from this is that we need more courses, because these are really popular right now, and they're popular for a reason, because they're good courses. And so Suki's Playground, I'd have to agree. But that's just because I don't like that. Like some people might like that course and like that style of racing. It tends to bring things back together and is really favors like a big bunch sprint. And here's the thing. Okay, I will say that as a little bit of a feedback, if it's going to be a straight up scratch race, that's not the one. That's what I'll say, is that like, that could be a points race or something along those lines, or, but as a scratch race, there's not enough opportunity to make it too interesting. It ended up being a bunch sprint a lot of times, and on top of that, on a downhill sprint. Yeah. So like, but besides that, everything else was I really liked the TT courses. The TT courses, the only thing is that they were so similar to each other. But at the same time, that was almost kind of cool, because you were able to like get a warm up one, and there was a lot of new Zwifters at this time of year getting into TTT, or people who are coming back into it. So you got race 3 as a warm up, and then you got this extra long 36K one on similar roads for the last one. So I thought that was really cool. I'm sad I didn't get to race actually the triple flat loops, because it's such a long TTT, and I really like longer TTTs because you can really get into a rhythm. And if you're having a good day with the team, it's like a place where you can just find every little extra ounce of energy by working well together. So, what about like so those are the courses, but what about the kind of races, the formats? Did you like the way that was?
I was just going to say, like, please do that again, because I think each week it was just a little bit different. So, you start with a scratch race, and then the next week you're like, oh, we're back to points. Okay, let's like we need to think about this and do something. And then you're in a TTT and you're like, okay, totally different. So I think I love it. I love those 3 formats because it means you do each one twice. Also, I will take back what I said that I don't like TTTs and I could handle just having one. I enjoyed both of these like a lot. Like I know I was sick in the one this week, so it was like at the time not enjoyable, but there was something great about my teammates being like, come on, you can do it, like stay with it. And in the first one, feeling really strong and like, you know, being able to take long pulls and we get the team going and we just got humming. And I think what we've realized, and I know you've had this with your team for ages, is that we've raced together so long now that it's almost silent. Like Jen was calling some stuff and the rest of the time we just all knew what we were doing and were kind of falling into place in the right way. So yes, please keep 2 TTT. I just like the format. I would say don't change the format.
Huh. You know, honestly, I'd have to agree with you. Like, I'm surprised that I do, but you know, I don't know. And I see a lot of people say individual time trial, and Karsten, I get it. I just I don't know. Suffering alone like that, just I like it's a team format.
Yeah.
There's lots of places to suffer alone and go. Like I just don't know if I there is a huge population who love individual time trials. I just don't. This is a preference thing too. Like you really like chocolate ice cream, and I really just there is nothing in me that really wants to go do an individual time trial on Zwift. Like nothing. like I literally have no motivation in any way whatsoever. Like I would look forward to, and so this might just be a discrepancy of preferences. I just am like, I want to play, and like individual time trials is the furthest thing away from playing. It's just show up and like I do them in real life. Like mountain biking for the first 10 years of my mountain biking, maybe until you get with the very pointy end, it's essentially an individual time trial chasing the front. Like that's all you do the whole time.
At least you
right?
have, like, so I did the duathlon league for a while and it was just a 35-minute ride as hard as you could go. And like, it became a bit demotivating. So I'm like, there's no variation. I'm not chasing someone. I'm not doing something, you know? So it was just kind of like put some music on and grind away. I'd almost just rather do that in a workout, but I get what he's saying. Like he wants a bit of variety. I would almost say like, and I know we mentioned at the start, if it was simple to do, is even if it was just a test race, so we didn't have it in the whole, you know, round 3, you could do an ITT that was like 5 kilometers and it was a team. So it was like a lap.
Yeah, I could say
next person goes a
Now
lap.
look, ITT individual, but it's lapped in short laps. I'd be down with that. Tag team time trial would be way cool actually.
Oh my God, what would that be? TT. Tag team.
Yeah, forget
trial.
the I. Just get the tag in there and we're good to go.
Just put 2 T's in there. And that would be kind of like, I wouldn't mind something like that. But I think in ZRL, it would be a little, even in Grand Prix, it was hard enough trying to get that stuff going. So I think in ZRL it could be a little bit tricky.
These things, you got to get this stuff built into game. That can't be outside game. It can't be organized in a way that's trying to, like, we're lucky we even had the TTT for as long as we did, because Martin and WTRL had put so much work into getting it to that point where there was timing happening without a time trial mode, you know? So
oh my God, I had an idea. Sorry, I have an idea.
Yeah. Okay.
So we do this in swimming. So like in swimming, when we're ocean swimming, there's like a buoy, and then there's a boy there and a boy there, but one is a bit closer.
There's boys everywhere.
There's boys just swimming. Buoys, but I'll say boys because that's what we call it. And you are in a team of 2 and you swim out and you pick who does the shorter one and who does the longer one, and then you turn and it's whatever team is back first. Could you imagine if they had start pins at one end of the new road and start pins at the other end of the new road, and you had your team, there were 3 of your teammates at one end and 3 at the other, and you started with the first 2 and you'd go like you'd probably pair it up like your strongest rider and your weaker rider, and you'd get the stronger rider to go as far as they can, and then they U-turn and turn back, and the next two riders can't start until they've finished. It would be very complicated, but quite fun.
and then the idea is like you keep going till the one goes until it hits the other's finish line. Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's attritional though. I mean, you could be there a long time. Like you could be there a lot. That's really fun, but that's like, I mean, that's straight up like who's gonna blink, you know, like who's gonna and then, but then I could also see other games kind of like that where you it's like a chase race like on the track, and you know you both go separate ways and then have to come around and meet back up and come around and meet back up, and it's the exact same course, but you are like racing each other somehow to like beat each other's, I don't know, catch each other's time or something. Like, I don't know, these ideas of like some sort of chase racing where one team has to catch another in order to win, or I don't know,
or like actually Whitney had a great idea. She hasn't posted it now, but I remember she posted on a show or two ago, that kind of gold rush idea. Like, even if you had your team and you all started at the pen, but you had to use your navigation buttons, but it was like, there is a treasure at, this is going so gamey, but there's a treasure at the top of Epic Climb. There's a treasure halfway along the new road. There's a treasure in Titans.
Did you see the ones? There's broadcasts of that on the ZCL
I remember
channel.
8 years ago, right?
Yeah. It was a long time ago.
And then you all jet off, and you're racing the other teams too, and you're like, who's the one going to the volcano? And then you turn off, and you're like, oh, that'd be so
Zwift,
cool.
Johnny at Zwift, as well as I think it's like one of his. Somebody who is related to him wrote the Zwift GPS website, and then like Zwift were like, this is cool, let's try it out. And we did like this stream. I think it was on ZCL only, but we did some practice stuff, and like people at Zwift, like Steve Beckett and others, like participated. Tom Hargreaves, like people who are like way up in the marketing, they like got involved and started doing it. It was kind of a fun stream actually. It was very dev, like not even dev. It wasn't even like written in game in any ways. It was totally testing some web browser that was like overlaid on your game, and you didn't see anything in game. But I do think we might be getting to the point though where we have a large enough population now that something like that, if it were written in game to go and like collect as much as you possibly could, it might work out. I mean, we're already in Crit City gamification, right? So like, I wonder if it's kind of time. So anyways, we're going way around. What ZRL Round Up? Well, what kind of formats? we're getting off on formats. We're gonna reel it in a little bit here.
Okay, to close it off,
we could get somebody on from Zwift on gamification, and how far do they really want to go? That probably could be a good guest coming up, because that's a hot topic lately.
Yeah, I think so. And I think, so if we round out this, we're looking at round number 3 coming up pretty soon. One course you'd like to see in there?
The sugar cookie.
Oh my God, I was going to say the same one.
Yeah, sugar cookie or sugar cookie's a really good one, actually. The only thing is I kind of like multi-lap sugar cookie though. One lap sugar cookie, it's like a boom. But I guess like, that's the cool thing about it, is like when you do that course and that final climb into a downhill finish on like dirt and the coast and that cliffside. I mean, I did the Kiss 100 for 3 or 4 laps on that, something like that. And it was bonkers. Like, I mean, like that climb just demolishes you, and you can do continuance over the top to those cliffs and then punch it into the jungle. And if you've you can go with it. I mean, you can get away, but it's tough. That's a really good race course, actually. Really good race course.
The only other one I'd say, and I've tried for like 3 days to get the like badge for it, but it's 50K. So
Big Ring, or?
I don't know. Shorelines and summits. No, I don't want to go up Alp to Zwift, but it starts, jungle. You start with a downhill, go the new roads, go all the way around the new roads, up Epic Climb, up to Radio Tower, descend, finish back in the jungle.
That's a big
But
one.
it'll be hard. Like 50K is long, 700, 800 meters elevation.
Yeah, that's like a tour.
So
That's like a I don't know
maybe a
if
tour
ZRL.
one.
That's
Yeah.
like ZRL's kind of more like, hey, come hang out with your buddies on a Tuesday night, go to sleep in time, kind of a thing.
Yeah. But anyway, I think definitely something on the new roads would be cool because there's 4 sprints on that road. That's a good.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
good
one thing we
race.
didn't mention. Yeah, that's the other thing is like, I don't know about a point. I don't know, Sugar Cookie as a points race or a scratch race, or you could do a points race just down the coast, right? Boom, 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 boom. Like hit those. That would be crazy. Like every single one of those sprints, you just lined up and hitting every one of those. Be insane. Junior Cyclist says accelerator to elevate times 2. I don't think that's ever going to be a ZRL. I'm sorry, Junior. I like your aspirations, but things for everyone, right? Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna lie as well, Sugar Cookie's 39 kilometers.
Yeah, that's a little bit. Well, that's the thing is the coast is pretty long, actually. That's the thing is, so including the coast and anything, you end up going for quite a long time, actually, because of that.
So I would say with this one, I reckon either scratch or TTT.
Yeah, scratch. I think scratch. TTT would be kind of, well, one climb. It's only one climb. You just get over the climb, so it could work pretty well.
Are you talking about the climb in the jungle?
No, doesn't Sugar Cookie have the or am I thinking of the wrong course? The climb up the start of the epic.
Oh yeah, start of the epic.
Yeah, start of the epic. We just go up the bridge and then take a right away.
Yeah. No, it's got that. Okay, yeah, Sugar Cookie. Votes for Sugar Cookie.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Votes for Sugar Cookie. We all want cookies and they have to have sugar in them. That's what we're going for ZRL round 3. All right, what's up with these stealth updates that you're talking about on the companion?
Yeah,
are you sure that this is stealth? I don't know.
Well, I feel like I'm pretty up with the play on updates. Whenever updates get released, I go on the forum and I look at the notes. And whenever they're the game updates, which we'll talk about, so we had recently 1.55, but it seems like there's these little updates happening in companion that are just not talked about anywhere, and then suddenly they're there, and I'm like, oh. So I've seen one that has on Zwift Insider this week, which is that the club events where we talked about it before, you could only have workouts. There are only 11 workouts or less that you could pick from, and they're all about there are heaps of them are ramp tests and stuff. Now they've got 50 plus workouts there. Mm-hmm. So when I set up my group ride now, I don't actually have to email Zwift every week and be like, can you please add my workout to this ride? I'm now I've got 50 plus workouts I can pick from, a whole bunch of different durations and stuff. So that's awesome. Now the second one, I can't be the only one who's noticed this, that suddenly I'm getting all these notifications through Companion to people I favorite being like my dad was riding and it's like, Dave just got a PR on Oceanside Sprint or whatever. And I'm like, what? And then I started getting them more and more. It's only been there for 3 days. But whenever an athlete I follow gets a PR, I get a notification.
I'm checking if I have some of these.
They're not in the notification, I don't think. I think they just pop up on my phone.
Yeah, that's why I'm checking if they're on my phone. If I'm getting, I swear I saw something like that. I have quite a few people that I follow as favorites, but I'm not seeing. I think I saw one from Gabby the other day though, and I was like, what is that? Why is it telling me about that? But I have a really messy notification, like Gabby, it drives Gabby crazy to even look at my phone. I just have a million notifications all the time. So I just whatever, but they don't even, to the point that they don't even mean anything anymore. So
So, people would know this, if a favorite has started Zwifting, you'll get a notification to say General has started Zwifting. It's like that. So it'll pop up and it'll be General got a PR on Volcano Climb. I'm like, oh, go you. So yeah, kind of interesting.
I think if we look behind the scenes there, it's trying to get people to do more social things. Is it a hint that things are going to get even more social on the app? That was one of the things that was a goal that was talked about a lot in the first few years. Huge topic.
Well, I'll tell you the
Zwiftcast.
way. I'll tell you the way to make it more social immediately that I would be so happy with if they did this in 2024 is have a tag functionality. Because I like have a bunch of Zwift notifications and then suddenly I'll see like 3 weeks ago someone commented on my activity and I can't tag a reply to them.
Yep. Oh,
I can't tag them. And so then I'm like, well, what do? Do I just reply on my own feed and they're not going to see any notification because it's my ride?
Yeah, and I don't know anything. Like, I don't even know that people say anything on mine either. Like, it gets buried in like. Do you guys also have it where like there's notifications on top of notifications saying kind of the same thing over and over again?
So like 50 people gave you ride-ons, 52 people gave you ride-ons. I'm like, what? So like another 2? And I'm like, what does that mean?
Like group ride ZRS, I have 63, and then group ride ZRS, I have 36. And then I have another thing that says the same thing about the same, and I'm just like, what's going on here? Anyways, like it's kind of weird. Like there's almost like too many things going on, and then I'm like, I just have a million notifications about a million notifications.
I think the ability to tag would be amazing because like I don't really use Strava, but I love when someone comments on my Zwift thing, but then I find no valuable way I can respond. So
that's the only time I interact on Strava too, is if somebody tags me and comments on something, and then I'm like, oh, okay, and there's some social interaction going there. So that would be a really good way to get people into the app being social. So, and I'm going to hammer this one. My ride needs to live on. Like, where do I go after the ride to talk to the people that are in like there needs to be a chat space.
I wanted to go to the AO riders and be like, awesome racing this round. Like, it was great. It was so tight. Where do I go do that?
You have to go stalk them on Instagram.
And be like, great ride, everybody.
Yeah, in all of their DMs. Like, and then if it's like cross-gender, you're like, well, maybe I shouldn't message them on Instagram. I'm sliding into their DMs. Then, like,
oh, no.
You know what I mean? It's like, like there needs to be a common space, you know, like
tagging and companion. Tagging and companion, garage clean out, 2 things I'd like in 2024.
Tagging and companion, but I'm going to say something separate from that race message boards need to live like as a space. Like that this race happened and that like it has its own space. Like it afterwards we go somewhere and you don't have to stay there. Like, you know how it has an option afterwards of like, hey, do you want to go back to Watopia or do you want to or I don't even know if another option, just like somewhere where I don't just get landed into the general chat and then like, oh, good race. And everybody sees that and nobody's paying attention. And everyone just leaves. And it's like, you could actually, if it was like actually, cause like after a ride, I always feel like it's the snobby Saturday morning ride instead of the cool, cool training ride with my buddies where we all went to the coffee shop afterwards. You know what I mean? Instead, it's the one where like everybody sprints and they're like, yeah, whatever, dude, you're not that fast. And they roll it home. You know what I mean? Like, and nobody actually likes each other. Oh my God,
yeah. Whereas I'm like the stressful one in a race with like 20 seconds to go being like, great ride, everyone. Awesome job.
Yeah, because you want to communicate. Yeah, and like totally. And I think and that is one thing that's a pretty big, I got to say that like, not from like even a criticism point of view, but from a like quality of life point of view, that's a pretty big miss to not have at this point, I think. Like, you know, I really feel like if you're looking to get people more engaged in your platform, and the thing is that literally you had a tagline that is like cycling is social. You know what I mean? That literally was that was a part of the taglines with it. Like Zwifting is like the main reason that Zwifting is the largest platform in this space is because of the social aspect of it. Yeah. And so that is a huge social component after rides.
I think they're moving in the right direction with Companion. Like I see these little things happening that I'm like, okay, they're doing development in the Companion app, and they do seem to be removing the Companion app a bit from the game for it to be purely a social thing. So I can't imagine it'll be too far away that maybe on that front screen where it's got like explore or
I'm sorry. I just think it's funny that like, yeah, you can get hooked up with this to whatever. Go to their Facebook. You know what I mean? Like, what? I go to their Facebook group and like literally Zwift lived for the first 5 years on Facebook. Like all of the things were Facebook. Like, and if you, it was the default, which anyways, so
they could have like, so if I was going to dev it now, you know, because I'm so experienced in this, is that the tab at the bottom, because you'll essentially be offline by then. So the tag at the bottom says events, and they've got like in mind bike, run, meetup. Is maybe they could have something like a finish line icon, like events that have finished, and you click on that event and there's like a chat if you want to. And you go like, hey, that was awesome, guys. Good work. And it might have like the results listed. So then you're like, oh, good win there.
If there's rankings that come down the road, ranking changes, like what are the outcomes of this event? Like that would also be a thing to talk about. Yeah.
Because I would see as soon as I finish, I would open that up, go straight in there and be like, awesome.
If anybody leveled up, if anybody got new kit, like little like just celebrations of what everybody happened. And that would be something I think like so that it wasn't just about the winners. You know what I mean? Like, which winning is great. Like racing's about winning. Like the people want to win in a lot of ways, right? Like great. But there's a lot of different wins that can happen, right? Like who had the fastest sprint,
PRs?
Who got a ranking, PRs, like that could all be there and it'd be something to talk about. Like, you know, and especially if you're racing with buddies or people you race with more often, like, oh, you got me that time. Wow. 15 whatever watt per kilogram or something. Like I didn't have it today, and you can throw all your excuses in that space. And it feels like, I don't know, it's yeah, I definitely think that'd be super cool. It's a good idea.
Because I guess they have it in Companion app when you're in the ride, because you can go into the messages and type, but they just need that bit after the ride.
Yeah, because we have our activities in there. You can see all of your activities in there. So we just have to map them. Like, right? So easy. Why don't you dev it out, Anna? Come on.
Come on. Yeah, come on. Yeah. It can't be that hard, right? I have no idea how to do that. Oh, no. Now, we were talking about this on the pod ride earlier today, and I'm like a little bit confused, but I think I'm there now.
Gun time versus chip time.
Yeah, 1.55 came out. Now, is this a controversial topic? Is this like a...
No, there's no controversy.
Oh, everyone's fine?
No,
okay,
it's more of like, only reason it's controversial is because people didn't know. And also it kind of messed up events that had a different expectation, or even that were being maybe marketed as a straight up off the gun scratch race. And so it was controversial in that, like, how is this not functioning off of gun time? What? Like that doesn't make it, like it didn't make any sense for the kind of race that you were in. Right. And so gun time versus chip time, like, the idea of like in TTT, the fourth rider across the line, well, that's fine because it was always the fourth. Like there's different ways that this has been worked around, but we just needed like when the gun goes off, that's when the time starts. And then everybody goes to the finish line. And when they get there, their time is based off of when the gun went off, not off of some line that they crossed individually, because everybody can cross that line at different times. And at different times in history, the chip time has been the thing. Like, and that shouldn't be that way for racing.
Okay, so now it's gun time.
Not across all of, right? Okay. Like if it's an individual TT event, it's going to be chip time.
Take out the TTs.
Yeah, so like, I don't know. I'm not up to date on what events and how and why. What could be is that some events need one kind and another kind of event needs another kind, right? And so it depends on, but I actually should probably check and read the entire thing about what exactly has changed completely, but that's the main difference. Okay, and there is the opportunity in there for both.
So the race results were using gun time, but the heads up display was showing chip time. So when you crossed some start line, but it said that's annoying. For example, if you're competing in the Z Racing monthly Grand, so we've got time stuff like Flamme Rouge would be the same, I guess, where you've got a monthly GC comp and you're chasing a particular time. It could be like 30 seconds off. Yeah. Okay, I get that for those timed events. Okay, that makes way more sense. I was like, kind of like, oh, what does it really matter? But yeah, if you're like, I'm 10 seconds behind the leader, and then suddenly your time is actually different to what you think it is based on the result versus your heads up display. Okay, got it.
Exactly.
Cool.
So there's that. I think sometime in the like way past, maybe not recently, there was like chip time was the main way things are done, but I could be corrected about that. So I'm going to ask actually and come back with that. But I think like this has been of like progress toward having now just in the heads up display, it's also giving what is correct there. So anyways, there is actually an article over on Zwift Insider on this specifically within 1.55. It's actually the major thing that's focused on within the 1.55 update, because it is a pretty big tweak, because I think a lot of people were getting freaked out by the differences that they were seeing from their HUD to what they were seeing on the results. And I would get that a lot actually, and especially depending on the races where I was like looking at the HUD and be like, oh yeah, this time. And then I look at the results, like that's like 5 seconds off. What the heck? Like what's going on here? So that definitely bugged me as well.
Talking about bugs, apparently they humanely captured and re-released some butterflies that were appearing in the cycling streaks screen.
What?
That would be kind of cool. So like your streaks screen came up and apparently there were some rogue butterflies flying around. I love the new butterflies. They would have been great. Keep them in there.
Wait, are they gone? They got rid of them?
They've gone. They've re-released them somewhere else in Watopia.
I think that the screen was taking a long time. I think there's a little bit of feedback that like the streak screen was like
too long.
And you're like, okay, this is cool, but I gotta get on. We're athletes are so funny, but like it's like anything in any game. There's like and I feel for devs because they do all this stuff and the creatives, and they make something really cool and flashy. And like once you get into the grind of a game, like any game that's like this, I'm click. I know. Like it's cool the first time, and then you're like, let's just play the game. Let's just go. Like, come on.
I'm like, I completely agree. Like it's already bugging me. I'm like, oh, I don't need to see the screen anymore. I just want it like. Just
well, I don't mind like a real flash it and then boop, there's the thing. Like, boop, like that's just boop, boop.
Yeah, like it's done. But it's like it's got the ticky things. Right? I was like tick, 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 tick. I'm like,
and it like fades in real slow. You know, like the top comes in and it like it's like a roll down even, and then it swaps to the second screen, and you're watching it roll down, and you're like, yeah, and you know the next one's coming too. Okay.
I got it. I've done my streak. Awesome.
I feel so bad if the creatives who did this though, that made this great, cool, like it's cool. It actually looked really cool the first time we said we all loved it. But like so I feel so bad, but this is just, there's a lot of other humans who feel the same way, I bet, out there about this. And it's kind of like, I'm sorry, it's so cool, but no, we need our time.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh.
Like if you're missing an event because of that streak screen, oh boy.
like I'm like not joking. When I finish my ZRL race, I save and I run to school. It's that close. Like I have 5 minutes to get to school and I'm sprinting. Often I just leave the game open now because the streak screen's there. I was like, I don't have freaking time. I'm out.
I don't have time. I'm going to be doing a different kind of streaking in just a second if I can't get out the door.
Like I'm there in my bib shorts, you know, and I'm just like far out. So anyway, yeah, if we can cut that screen, that'd be amazing.
Oh my gosh. All right, we got do we have an NPC story? I think
I had one question too, which was and I noticed it on the ride this morning because I was clicking through people so much to see the fashion, was the riders are leaning more. Hey, right?
Yeah.
After this update.
What's that all about? Is that actually a thing?
So it's not anywhere in any notes I could find, but someone came back to me and said, yeah, they've added more lean. I was like, yeah, okay. But I couldn't tell if they were joking or not. But anyway, next time you're riding, especially in a bunch ride, you see it a little bit more, round the corners, just look. Because I was watching being like, this is real leany, like super leany. So anyway, tell me if that's wrong. Also had like a weird thing where I was watching a rider So I don't know if you've had this. It was so bizarre. I was watching a rider looking at their fashion, and then suddenly it went off the rider to someone else. I was like, oh, that's weird. Went to go click back on them. They no longer were listed, but they were still obviously riding with us. And then they were doing this the whole time, like not steering, but their leaning was like going lean, 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 like that. So I don't know what was going on, but it was really weird. And that's when I commented and was like, something's up with our leans here. And I don't even know what happened to that rider, but anyways, it was super weird.
Huh. It is weird. Well, I actually am not finding this submission here. We'll have to wait till next week on NPCs. And if you do have your any NPC stories, bring them in. It didn't come through to my email to the right place, but we'll get a full creative on it, and maybe I'll make up a story.
I will give an update on the haunted houses.
All right, let's hear it.
So you go past house 1, which just kind of looks a bit creepy, and then you get to house 2, and the windows are all like a kind of burnt orange color, which looks like suspiciously like dried blood. So next time you go past, tell me if like I'm the only one. Yeah, it just looks weird. Yeah, it looks creepy, like real creepy. It's the second house. The
super creepy. I said they had like a Halloween / like the movie Halloween / Friday the 13th feel for sure. Like,
yeah, I don't like them.
Yeah, they're definitely.
They make me worried.
Good. So last K today in the festive ride. No, last 10K today in the festive ride. Like, that was pretty fun. What happened in your group? Like,
so I went off early.
Yeah, you pushed it right off the bat, actually. Like, I was like, whoa. Because I liked what you did there too, because I was thinking what you were thinking in your head there, that you were like, we're not screwing around here, okay? We're not going to play games, and if somebody's got to do something, I'm doing it. And you just like went for it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I went. I knew I was like feeling a bit average, so I was like, I'm just going to hit this really hard for like a minute, and then I'll just drop. The group behind was quite good, actually. So there was a rider there from Toyota Elite. She was like cranking off the front. So we're all trying to work together to catch you guys, because we're only like 15 seconds behind, and everyone's kind of working well. And then I like saw orange numbers in your group. I was like, oh, and you guys are like, then it went to like 30 seconds, 40 seconds, a minute. And then I was just kind of cruising in my group. And then I was like, oh, I need to get fashion photos. And so I just started taking heaps of photos. And then I started commentating on your guys' finish, because I was like, oh, I'll stay up here with the leaders. So that was quite fun watching you guys. You kind of like, you dropped Gabby for a bit, and she's like, I'm done. And then she's like grinding her way back. Yeah, because you guys were
Mike and I started looking at each other. McCarthy and I, we just started looking at each other. Charles and McCarthy. Oh, it was good. It was actually a good little race. And I liked your commentary over the top. Your commentary was pretty good, actually. Yeah. It was good.
Yeah, no, it's fun. And then the chase pack we had, I think it was Rosen, Golden Rosen. He, one of the bad kit choices, he had a late surge. I think he came second, and there was another rider who pushed ahead. He did it early. It just shows me again, go early, because you went a little bit early and got the gap, and then a few others went a bit early. So yeah, it was fun.
This is actually kind of fun. Gabby did I actually have a little story about McCurry Island people here, which is pretty cool. So let's go ahead and see if I can bring this in. Here we go. Yep. Okay. So McCurry Islands. Wait, no, save. Stop. OBS, stop being so screwed up. Okay, so this is Jay. Jay here.
Nice kit choice there.
So NPC stories here. Go ahead.
Oh my God. What kit is she wearing? Gabby, what kit are you
wearing?
She's in
the new, that's the new Zwifters kit. It's a baseball.
Oh my God. That's an outfield kit. That looks way better in game than it did
good,
in
actually.
the pictures.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, actually, no, that looks real good in game. Okay, sorry.
It's okay. It's all good. So this is Jay. And what's difficult here is that Jay, he grows unusual big pot plants that are usually known as miniature plants. He stands with his little shop right by the entrance of the little marketplace. He tells you all about how he grows the plants carefully with lots of banana shell as food for them, and puts them then to sell those big colorful pots as you see in the picture. So you see, this is like, think about the kind of detail that they put into this. Yeah. If you are not very interested in plants, I would avoid stopping by, because he will go off about it and your legs will cool down too much if you're not done with your ride. But I liked the big, oh my gosh, and that's about, I think that's as far as it goes there. So she left it there. And this was on a XP grind ride, and he started bugging her, I guess. And I had to take care. I mean, I actually think he was hitting on her, and I had to take care of the situation is what ended up happening, because it just got a little out of control. Jay and your plants, dude, they're not that impressive. Okay, buddy? Okay? Like, I got better. Although she is a sucker for flowers, I got to say. And that's one up that Jay might have on me, is I'm not always the best about. And she did this other one too with the cats here. These ones are a little bit too into their phones, I guess. So definitely submit your NPC stories. We absolutely would love to have them. I'll save the cats and the phones for next week, because Jay has gotten me fuming enough that he's hitting on my wife. So we're going to have to deal with this guy. I'm actually going to ride over there and deal with him. We're going to have our own NPC story, Jay.
Oh my God. Oh my God, so good. Okay. Yep. I've got to go there. Oh, I love it.
It's good stuff. Well, everybody, that is going to be it for this week. Before we go, what are we up to for the next week out on Zwift? What's happening over the holiday for Christmas with you?
Yes, we're here actually, because Auckland it empties out over the next 2 weeks, and I love it because like no one's here, so you go to the beaches and stuff. It's super chill and quiet, and then we go to our family beach house at the end of the holiday, so late January. And so I'll be doing like the ZRL on a deck somewhere where it's really hot and I have a tiny little fan. So that'll be like heaps of fun. And like an iPad, like 6th generation or something that's like stucco and, you know. But this week I just got my TT bike serviced. So I'm going to take that out tomorrow for the tri session. So do that and try and do a 15-kilometer run off the bike. So it'll be swim, bike, long run. So just trying to get ready for the 70.3 at the end of the season.
You got that coming up. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So that'll be good. And then on Sunday, I need to see how I feel. I've got 2 alternate workouts that Claire's given me. One's like the 5x5 minute. I just don't know if I'm going to be like well enough to really do that the way I want. And the other one's like a VO2 blast, which I think could be a little bit more achievable because there's so much rest. So we'll see. We'll see how that feels. And then next week, I feel a bit lost without ZRL. Obviously Christmas, so great time with the fam. I'm not doing any Rafa Festive 500, but the Fondo is next Sunday. So I can talk about that next week on the show. But yeah, next Sunday I'll be doing the Fondo.
For me, I've been in the weight room a couple of times this week, and one just quick coaching corner tip. I got really, really fit in like probably the fittest zone 2 work I've ever done in my life. But it also, like, people were like, not in like a bad way. They were like, dude, you are fit, just looking at me. Like, they were saying that, right? And if you're over 40 or getting close to 40, don't neglect the weight room, because I think that's why, like, I notice when I'm in the weight room now, after a really hard season of training, like, and then that zone 2, like, don't neglect the weight room, because I'm like, whoa, my back is way weaker than it's ever been. Like, there's just certain muscles that we neglect on the bike that as you get a little bit, you just can't neglect them as you get older. Like, if you want to stay strong, and it's freaking me out a little bit, like, I'll get back and I'll get strong again. But like, I mean, 3-4 years ago, I was deadlifting 325 pounds. Like, I would, like, huge weight, like, right? Like, I was, and now I'm like, I can't even like look at it without my back freaking out. You know what I mean? So like, there's just, and so I'm going to be hitting the weight room and really rebuilding a lot of strength. And then, staying as consistent as I can so that I don't just show up to Zwift Grand Prix when we kick off in the in the new year and just like feel like completely out of it. But I've actually been taking it a little bit easier than usual, and I actually feel really fresh when I do my hard efforts, which is really nice. So I think we're gonna try and stay on that a little bit more. Yeah. So and really have like really good workouts, but not getting too tired workouts. So yeah, so that's what I'm up to. Lots of stuff. We're getting ready for ERL again, national championships. We've got USA national championships. We've got Canadian national championships. We've got tons of new stuff coming with streams. So like, there's nothing but tons of tech work here happening as well. But besides that, lots of off-season type weight room stuff is where my mind is at of getting strong again. So yeah.
Do want to say, I don't know if it's public knowledge, but I saw it on a Discord chat. NZ Bro, I think, are working with the New Zealand Esports Federation to bring a New Zealand national champs at some point in 2024.
Heck yeah. Awesome. I didn't know about that. No, I had no idea.
Neither did I. So I think Kevin's been doing a bunch of work in the background on that. So I guess more info to come, but all the Kiwi listeners.
Very cool.
There we go.
That's awesome. That's super, super awesome. There was one other thing and it's escaping me, so we'll leave it at that. Well, everybody, the ride with Teppi, 2 a.m. on Saturday. I think we're actually going to do it. Oh my gosh. I think it's 2 a.m. on Saturday. It's 2 a.m. Yeah, tomorrow. It's in like 24 hours, like a little over 24 hours. So
oh my God.
I think that's like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. his time or something. The TTT Stravaganza XP farm thing he's doing. It's in the Discord, so go and check out the Discord. It should be linked in the YouTube. It's just my Discord from my old school Twitch days, but it is in the Promo Your Stuff Here channel, and he has promoted it there, and I think it's going to be a lot of people showing up for some crazy XP grinding, because you know how the community gets. Whenever there's something kind of like out there like this, that's a little bit different that nobody's really ever done before. I don't remember anyone ever doing this. This one, it's rare that there isn't something someone hasn't done before, and this is a new one. So
yeah, this is good. I will just say as well, next, it made me think of it because Carsten said he should be given Zwifter of the Year 2023. We'll have our New Year's Eve show next Friday, so we'll have all those categories. Remember we did it last year? So like best race of the year, best team of the year. I'll put some categories, but if people have some nominations and some thoughts, shoot them through. So that we can,
best of 2023. Let's go. Best of 2023. We want to hear all about it. Definitely, we need to put a whole bunch of posts out actually this week because I really want to hit that one home when it comes to getting the community's opinions out there and hear about what everybody thought. Not forget anything. I really like the milestones that we have within the community actually. So let's make sure to highlight those, everybody. So, well, thanks everybody for tuning in. If you didn't know, this is also a podcast that you can download and listen to the audio version. You can find it over at zwiftcommunitylive.com/podcast. That should be up shortly after the live stream. And we've been live on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Make sure to follow, like, subscribe anywhere that you are listening. Turn on your notification bells. It helps out the channel a ton. We just bumped up over 13.2. Going on 13.3 real quickly. Want to hit 14,000 hopefully by the end of January. We'll see what we're doing. That's really aggressive, but you guys have been absolutely awesome about that. So we really appreciate all the new listeners and you that have been with us all this way, getting past episode 75, hitting 100 real quick. That's from Anna and I. That'll be episode number 75. Thanks everybody for tuning in. And as always, right on.